It just wouldn't be a holiday on the Bun Inspector channel if I didn't hunt down some obscure horror game with themes from said holiday to celebrate with. And you wouldn't think that there were so many scary games featuring the hippity-hoppity Easter Bunny, but I once again have a fine Easter offering for your enjoyment. Die the Bunny. D-Y-E, not D-I-E, for now, at least. We play as a young girl, Ellie, who is so excited for the annual Easter egg hunt that she, 1, leaves home without her parents, and 2, goes hunting for eggs in the dead of night. Astoundingly, she does find a fair amount of the painted eggs, which in turn opens additional paths forward, further and further away from home. For a while, it's actually peaceful, calm, and quiet, until we cross the street for this one Easter egg that has some god rays. Then we get our first glance at our dyed bunny, and he's much bigger than I expected. Big guy. What a big boy. God, excuse me. Ellie continues forward, surprisingly unimpeded by the bunny, and actually, he finds an egg that I need. What a pal. She eventually falls down a rabbit hole, literally and figuratively, finding herself in a surreal, egg-filled subterranean world. Up to now, everything has been very linear, but this change in scenery also changes that fact. The rabbit hole has branching paths, and despite there not being that many ways to go, I got lost a lot. Partially because that's just how I am, my sense of direction is tragic, and partially because this area has one of my least beloved game systems of requiring senseless backtracking to trigger forward progress. Poor Ellie had to wander this cave system aimlessly for much longer than necessary. Throughout her cave exploration, she keeps running into the dyed bunny. But he's not aggressive at all, just present, if anything. Sitting down to enjoy lunch with Ellie or pointing her to key items. Actually, despite our jarring initial introduction, he's not been threatening to Ellie in the slightest. If nothing else, he just seems sad. Ellie's journey also turns up a lot of these notes everywhere. Up on walls or inside books. It's not clear who wrote them or what they're trying to express, but they do seem vaguely threatening, or at minimum, disquieting. They don't seem to be written by the bunny, since they are often regarding the bunny. Unless he loves the third person, I don't know. After running around in circles, Ellie grabs a long, rectangular box, which apparently is what we've been searching for, apropos of absolutely nothing. But it does allow her to exit the rabbit hole and walk all the way back home. At the front door, Ellie opens the box to find a knife. No! She enters the house, and based on the screaming and the horror of her parents, I assume she dies the bunny. D-I-E, not D-Y-E. Finishing the story unlocks an alternate story path referred to as the blue path. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find it, but that concern was entirely unfounded. The blue path takes her around to a sort of nightmare version of her own house. In said house, there is not one single crumb of food, not even fit for a mouse. Approaching the empty table has Ellie served for dinner, while her parents seemingly gorge themselves. Eventually freed from the table, Ellie runs away with the bunny. This ending is more confusing to me. I'm not sure if I'm really meant to believe that Ellie's parents ate her, or if this is like a POV you're the bunny type situation. Regardless, with that we have both endings of Die the Bunny. This game is shockingly fully voice acted, although admittedly there are only 4 characters. I was still surprised to hear it. And even beyond that, it was pretty quality voice acting. Particularly the bunny's voice has a fairly disconcerting Mad Hatter characteristic to it, which makes him feel like an alarming, eerie addition to our night even before we ever get to see him.
Find the eggs before they find you!
Gameplay is not much to write home about, but this is far from the first horror walking simulator type game. And yeah, I got lost a ton in the rabbit hole, so it is missing some logic or player direction, but it's a really small 20-minute indie horror game. So that's fine for what it is. And while the endings confused me, I can certainly appreciate the enterprising choice to have 2 totally different paths in the game with completely separate endings. There are achievements in this game, but only 3 in total, which is fine. It's not a long game, so why have a ton of achievements? Died the Bunny is unlocked for finishing the first ending, Blue Egg is unlocked for starting on the blue path, and Everyone's Hungry is unlocked for finishing the alternate ending. Pretty easy peasy. Which closes the book on our 2026 Easter horror game. I hope you all have a wonderful day with preferably slightly less cannibalism than what I've shown here today. There is a direct sequel to this game called Die the Bunny 2, but perhaps we'll see that next year. Don't want to blow my load all at once, you know? Easter horror games don't grow on trees. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. Happy Easter, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye!